Hey, guys, we're live. I'm Jeff here with eBay Addicts, and today my guest is Felix from the Giant Lifestyle. How you doing today, bro? How was your weekend?
What's up, Jeff? Thank you for having me on the channel. My weekend was pretty good, man.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So, introduce yourself. What state are you living in, and how old are you? And tell people what you do.
Okay, cool. So I have, obviously, my name's Felix Wisniewski. I run the Giant Lifestyle YouTube channel. Actually just created a second YouTube channel, which is all about one of my favorite side hustles called like flipping medical commodities. I'm 26 years old. I've been an entrepreneur for the past 5, 6 years. I'm from New Jersey, and I make videos all about entrepreneurship, success. I also own a handful of properties, and just trying to tell people out here that it's possible. You don't have to work for somebody. You can go out there, create streams of income that are legit, and change your life and have financial freedom.
Right, and how old are you again?
I'm 26. I just turned 26 about 2 months ago.
Right, so he's 26 years old now. If you guys recognize this guy, you might have saw him on JT Hustle's YouTube channel. Both of us, me and Felix, both of us have been featured on JT Hustle's channel. And I was watching his videos, like, I don't know, a week or so ago, and he was talking about his business. And I was like, man, I got to reach out to Felix and get him on the show. So, so I don't mind. You don't mind me talking about your business, do you?
No.
So he put out a video, I think it was, I don't know, a while back. He had a video and he was talking about how he was making about $40,000 a month, right? Now keep in mind, you're a 26-year-old kid. You don't have any children, wife and kids or nothing like that. It's just you, right?
Me.
Just you, okay. And now you don't have a boss. You don't have to punch a time clock or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay, cool. I want to give a shout out to people in the chat room for coming by real quick. We got Flantic Natural. We got Wendy. Hey, I got your message on Instagram. We got BK from the Rockies. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me, bro. I appreciate you. We got Lone Star Picker, and we got Wendy again. So, guys, like I said, we're not talking about eBay today. We're gonna be talking about the medical commodity business. So, I kind of put him on a spot here. Tell us a little bit about what you do. Hey, Nikki T is here. She said stopping by to say, hey, Nikki T, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you. So today we're talking to Felix and all about his side hustles, as you want to call them, or his business, because I think he said he was making about $40,000 a month. So what we're going to do today is we're going to try to break down his income streams, and then we're going to talk about it one by one on how you can get started. Because, you got started with this business, you were a young guy. So before you became an entrepreneur, tell everybody about what your lifestyle was. When you graduated high school, did you go to college? Like, what was your life like before you became an entrepreneur? Go ahead.
Okay, so it's kind of crazy because, I started becoming I dropped out of college in February. I can't think of the exact date, February 2014 somewhere. And it's crazy because, now I see, I'm 26 and I'm not grown, but you see, everybody that, my cousins and everybody I'm around, they already went through college, they got the jobs, and it's like, are they really happy? Are they really satisfied? Are they really considered successful? Like society kind of, you go to school, you get a job, I guess you're successful now. And, I was terrible in school. Like, I'm trying to figure, I think there's a meme. It's like, if you judge a monkey by his ability to climb a tree, you might think the monkey's stupid. It's something like that. And like all through high school, my GPA, which is like grade point average, if you're in the United States or wherever you're located. I remember my GPA as a senior in high school was a 1.7. Basically had like all D's and one C. I was terrible. And I applied to like 7-8 colleges, got denied, had to go to community college and, get my grades up, not learning any skills, just taking like basically nonsense classes. And I think school could be good for some people, but I think it caps a lot of people at their true potential. If you're going to be like a doctor or a teacher or maybe a lawyer, it could be good, but I just don't like how they don't set people up with real skill sets. So went to community college, got some decent grades, but that was like what I was committing to. I was working a minimum wage job and like studying like crazy all day long. Got some decent grades, went away. After a year, I went to community college for a year. Then I went to Ohio University. It's about 70, 80 miles southeast of Ohio State. And it's crazy because the day before I left for college, I surf. Like I go to the beach. I grew up in a beach town. The day before I left for college, I met this dude while we were surfing. He said, if you don't like school, and he was telling me about entrepreneurship and his son. I never even heard the word entrepreneurship in the 12, 13 years we go to school. He said, if you don't like school for any reason, read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I'm thinking, dude, I don't read, but okay. Left it in the back of my mind, went through school, good or bad experience, whatever the case may be. And I finally, I spent all my money that I brought to college with me. Long story short, I pick up the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and literally like within a week later, I stopped going to class. I dropped out to pursue real estate wholesaling. Real estate wholesaling, for people who don't know, not to make the story too long-winded, but basically find a seller who wants to sell their house fast, line them up with a cash buyer. And I did 2 deals of those kind of deals, made 10,000. They made another deal for 6,000, or no, 6,000, then 10,000. And in a mix of that, I was supposed to close like a monster wholesale deal where me and another investor were coming together to do like a joint venture. And in the mix of that, I discovered this medical commodity business. Been doing the medical commodity business ever since. Took the profits from that. Bought a bunch of properties. I got maybe close to just around 10 houses, I think now.
Okay, good. So I'm going to stop you real quick, Felix. So now, when you were going to college and you told and when did you decide, like, this college thing ain't for me? I'm putting my 2 weeks notice in, I'm done with school. Like, when did you decide that was over? And what did your parents, with your family, were they supportive, or were they like, no, you got to go to school? Like, how did that go?
They were like shocked, but they really didn't say anything. They were like kind of telling me, like, it was like animosity kind of. They really weren't saying anything. But at the same time, they were like, this, you got to go get a job. Like, if you're not going to go to school, you got to do something. And I was reading a lot of books. But as soon as I started reading the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, I told my mom, hey, can you come pick me up? I don't want to go to school no more.
Right, I'm with you. I read the book as well. So once you started reading the book and you started feeling like, man, I feel like I'm wasting my time in school. I'm not learning anything. I don't feel like I'm progressing. It's not taking me to where I want to be. You decide, because I'm not trying to criticize you, because I dropped out of college as well. That's why I'm just trying to flush this out to find out, like, what happened and what was your thought process. So because you were going to school, it just wasn't really where you wanted to be. You were just trying to feel your way out in the world and figure out what you wanted to do and not want to do, right?
Yeah.
And so you started reading books, and you read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and you just told your parents, like, hey, I'm out of here. I'm done with school. I'm going to do something else, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then what happened after that? So you said your parents weren't very supportive. Go ahead. What happened?
I started working a job, and I started to sort of piece this real estate wholesaling business together, which was like, they make it sound really pretty. Find a seller, find a buyer. You're going to start cashing out thousands and thousands of dollars, which isn't the case. Did a deal, did another deal, and then I was lined up to do a JV deal where this guy had a property under contract. I had the buyer, and long story short, we're going to put them together. And there'll be like spreads on a wholesale deal. Like, you're going to buy it for 130, you're going to sell it to the buyer for 200. The house might need 100 in repairs, and you could resell it for 500. Those are like kind of how it works. And we're going to make about 60, 65 on the deal. And kind of abruptly, the deal just fell apart. And the other guy that was in the deal, I had no job at the time. Keep in mind, I lived with my parents. I didn't have any real expenses, but I had no job at the time. And the deal kind of fell through. And the other guy was flipping medical commodities, AKA diabetic testing supplies. It's just a fancy word for diabetic testing supplies. And that's kind of how I discovered it, or how I kind of got led to what I do now, and what I kind of talk about. Some part of them. I talk about a lot of different things, real estate, credit, but that's kind of my main, I guess, claim to fame, if you would say.
Right. So in case people don't know, so when you're real estate wholesale, you don't actually own the property. You just had to have the property under contracts, basically. And then what you try to do is you try to meet same thing a real estate agent does. You're trying to get a buyer and a seller to come together, and then anything above this certain price, this threshold, you're keeping, right?
Yeah. You negotiate with the seller, and then basically your entry in the deal is basically you have that piece of paper. So you tell the seller, hey, I'm going to give you 130. And in the contract, it says that, hey, I could sell this piece of paper for a fee. I could sell this piece of paper for 140, and I keep the $10,000 difference.
Right. I was just trying to bring that up because I've bought properties through wholesalers before. And in case somebody watching the video doesn't understand, I'm just trying to get them to do like a quick overview so they understand how that works. Yeah. He basically ties the property up under contract and says, hey, I'm interested in this property. And then he brings a buyer and seller together, and then he takes a cut for bringing the buyer and seller together. It's similar to what a real estate agent does, except he kind of keeps the property under contract. So anyway, so you meet this guy and you start learning about diabetic strips and medical commodities. How did that go? Can you explain that whole process and how all that works for you? Go ahead. You got to explain it to a rookie, to a not novice. Go ahead.
Okay, so like I said, I was doing and it was a real estate guy that I knew, probably, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years older than me. I know he's in his maybe a little bit older than that. So I was always asking him for real estate advice, but he was sort of like he would act like he's trying to help me, but at the same time, kind of like, get away from me at the same time. So when we were doing this deal together, like I said, we were sort of lined up to make in a wholesale deal between 60 and 70,000. I forget the exact numbers, but we would split in half. He'd take his cut, I take my cut. And like I said, the deal kind of abruptly, we were clear to close. Everything was good to go. And they said they found some sort of like lien or something on the property. I can't exactly remember why the deal fell apart, but I was counting on that. I don't know how many people can relate, but when you're counting on a check or a deal closing, and then for some reason it doesn't close or you don't get paid, it can be one of the worst and most defeating feelings ever. Hold on, I'm getting. Sorry about that. So yeah, like I said, and then the guy was doing the business of reselling the test strips, because the wholesaling deals, like, they'll come and go. You might close a deal here, but you might not close another deal for 2-3 months down the road. And that's why what I was looking for was like kind of like that cash flow. So I offered to pay him. I offered to work for him to kind of learn the business. Even though it's a simple concept, I didn't really know what to do. And I know my dad was a diabetic, so it made sense to me. I always see him with these diabetic supplies. He has, things he has on his stomach. He's always pricking his finger. Like, the concept made sense to me, but I didn't know what to buy, where to buy it, who to sell it to. And, over a 6-7 month period, I finally figured it out. And at that time, and I'm kind of jumping around because I don't want to make the story too long-winded, but I figured the game out. And then from there, I, started making money, and I kind of left the wholesaling stuff to the side because it was kind of slow, where I could go buy 40, 50 boxes of test strips this week and sell them. Oh, I'm not on camera. Sell them right now. Where if I lock it under contract, I might not be able to sell it for. I remember I locked my first deal under contract November 14th, and I didn't get to the closing table until January 21st. So do the spread of numbers on that. I could buy 30, 40 boxes of test strips today and sell them today. So when I looked at how fast I could make money and how fast, I could turn my money around and the profits I could make, it just made more sense. So that's kind of how I got into the business. It took me some time to learn what to buy, where to buy it, who to sell them to. It was a slight learning curve, because the guy, and I was going to offer to pay him, work for him, he didn't want no part of it. So I kind of stumbled a while and was just living off some savings that I had from the 2 deals I did do. But it was a rocky journey. But once I actually figured it out, it was, that's why I make videos about it now, because the business changed my life.
Very cool. So now explain to people, how do you go about getting started in this business? Because I see bandit signs like in the middle of street intersections, and it'll say, I buy diabetic testing supplies or diabetic testing strips. So talk a little bit about your how you got started in the business and how it actually works. Because go ahead.
Yeah, so it's a pretty simple concept. I mean, there are some things that I will leave out because I do have like a training program that I do offer. But nonetheless, the real concept behind the whole thing is you're just buying and reselling different diabetic testing supplies. It's crazy because, like, 1 in 10 people have diabetes in this country. It's like almost 30 million people who have either type 1 or type 2. And what they need is, hold up. I'm just going to I have some right.
Go ahead and grab it. Go ahead. Sorry, guys, we're live, so it's just nothing here is like scripted. We kind of wing it. So we're just hang tight, and we'll get the guest to be right back.
So these right here are different diabetic testing supplies or testing strips.
Okay, go ahead and break it down to us one by one. Explain us to the viewers how it works out. Go ahead.
Oh, you see these right here? This is a brand called One Touch Ultra, right?
Right.
Typically, and like this is a brand right here. It's called Contour Next. My father gets 15 of these every single month. He only uses 5 of them, so he gives me the extra 10. These all day long sell for 68, 67, 69, depending on which wholesale buyer I sell them to. So whether I have 1 box or I have 1,000 of these, I could sell them all day long. What I would do, I'd go on PayPal, type up an invoice, send it off to the buyer, and they prepay me. So these boxes right here, I could get paid for them up front. Right now, tomorrow I'll go to the post office and ship it out. So basically what I do is I put out basic advertising. I know people see me on YouTube and they might think that this guy must be a marketing genius or he's real techie. In all honesty, I can, just getting on this live stream was, difficult for me. I'm not techie at all. I have a guy that helps me with a lot of stuff when it comes to websites and stuff like that. Keep in mind, I don't have a website for my diabetic reselling business. I haven't had a website and I've made tons of money doing so. So
tell people how much money you make a month on average selling diabetic testing supplies.
It ranges. I mean, some months it's 10,000. Some months it's close to 20,000. It goes. Sometimes it's 15,000. This month I'm already around 12,000. Last month was around 15 to 17. It goes up and down.
Well, I'm just bringing it up because I think I watched some videos online and it said that you could still work your full-time job and flip medical commodities on the side and still make 6 figures a year. So that's why we're trying to bring you on the show so we can learn more information about the whole process of how it works. So where do you go about finding these diabetic testing strips? I mean, do people come to you with them? Do you go to like door to door? Do you like put an ad on Craigslist and say, hey, we buy diabetic testing supplies, and you go to people's houses and pick it up, or how does that work?
Yeah, so you put out basic ads, nothing too crazy. I always say related to a gym. You ever see gyms? They're always like, join our club, $20 a month. They got flyers. They got stuff in your local delis. They have signs on the side of the road. We put out stuff like that, basic advertising. You can do online stuff if you know how to do it. I don't personally do that. I put out basic advertising. People call me up saying, hey, how much do you pay for this, this, and this? We have like a set sheet. There's about maybe 30. There's 4 major brands, but each of those brands have like for example, this box is One Touch brand. It has like maybe 8 or 9 sub brands that this is one brand. There's a 50 count box. There's another. See, this box is green. This box is blue. So there's different brand, but we already know how much these sell for. So based off how much they sell for, I'll pay. Typically, I like to triple my money. So if I know this sells for 65, me picking it up for between 20 and 40 is a win, especially if they have 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 boxes. So with that being said, basically I would buy them. I would turn around and I would sell them to a wholesaler that I already know exactly how much I'm going to get paid for them by. And that's really all it is. Put out advertising, let the people call you. I tell people 10 to 12 hours a month you could do this.
Yeah, you know what? Your business reminds me a lot of a phone flipping business where they put ads online and say, hey, we buy phones. They pay cash for phones and then they flip and resell them. But instead you do a commodity business. So with someone, okay, let's say that I wanted to sell, I'm calling you on the phone and I want to sell these diabetic strips, okay? Now I call you up and say, hey, I've got 10 boxes of the diabetic strips. How much money will you give me for them? And then what happens from that point on?
I would look at a sheet that I have. Like, I'll pull up the sheet real quick, just so the print is slightly small, so it's going to be kind of hard to read. Let me see if you could see it though. So, view photos. So as you can see, like right here, here's a sheet of how much I'm going to get paid for each specific brand. So I'll look on this sheet. Oh, your box sells for 80. What do you have? 5 boxes? I'll give you. I'll give you 30 a box. So 30 times 50, that's 30 times 5 is 150.
No, it was 30 times. Well, let's just make it easy. 30 times 10 would be $300.
Okay, 30 times 10. My math is I failed.
It's cool. It's all right. Go ahead.
I failed every class in school. So 30 times 10, you have 10 boxes. I give you 300 bucks. I take those 10 boxes and they sell for 80. I could sell them for basically 800 bucks. So basically the profit margin would be 500, but I could get paid for the boxes up front. So say you're the buyer. I go on PayPal, type up an invoice. I say, hey, Mr. eBay, or hey, Steve, hey, John, I have these many boxes. They're in this condition. They expire on this day. On this, every box out the pharmacy typically expires 18 to 24 months. This condition, this brand, this is how much you pay for them. Send off the invoice. They'll pay it. Sometimes they'll pay within the hour. Sometimes they'll pay within the day. take them, go to the post office, shove them in a box, ship them out. But I already
so I got a Go ahead. I got a question for you. Can you resell them on eBay? If I don't have a wholesaler, if I don't have a buyer lined up, can I sell these diabetics testing supplies on eBay or no?
Yes, you can. You can sell them on eBay or eBay, whatever you want to call them. So you're gonna have to deal with the PayPal, the eBay fees. The PayPal fees aren't too bad, but it's the eBay fees, and then you're probably gonna get cut out 10% on how much you could actually sell them for. The buyers that having a wholesale buyer. We kind of get top dollar. But yeah, if you don't have a wholesale buyer, you can go on eBay. You can do it. Yeah. It's just
how do you go about finding a wholesaler? How do you do that? Because you don't just look up in Yellow Pages wholesale buyer. How does that work?
Yeah, you kind of just got to be like kind of in the community of people who do this. That's why I say for people who kind of are looking to get inside the community, just reach out to me. And I could kind of plug you with a wholesale buyer. And then for people who I have like a university training where I, share people who take the training I have with the buyers I use. Because I've been using the same 2 to 3 buyers for the past 4 to 5 years over and over and over and over and over. So, but besides that, you kind of just build the relationships with, different people in the community. You could do eBay. It's just a little bit of a headache.
Okay, so I got a question for you, Felix. Now, all these diabetic testing supplies and commodities, all of them are still new, sealed in the plastic, right? They're all still brand new?
Yeah, actually, this one right here, that's why I brought it up. You see it's opened?
Yeah.
You can't do anything with it. It has to be.
So that's garbage,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you might be able to sell it on eBay for this box would typically sell for close to $70. Because it's like this, you might be able to move it for, I don't know, $10.
Okay, now if someone wanted to get started in this business, how much money would it cost them just to get started up? If someone only had, let's say they had, because I watched one of your videos that said you get started for $20, but let's say someone had $100 and they were interested in buying and flipping commodities. How do they go about getting started for this? Break it down. So do they just start putting out bandit signs? Do they go on Craigslist and say we buy diabetic supplies? Like how do you go about getting started? Go ahead.
You could put out the best thing if you have less than $100, I would say. Maybe buy 20 bandit signs and then also do Craigslist.
Okay.
That'd be the cheapest way to go. And then if you want like other strategies that, you can kind of go, you can pick and choose, but the cheapest way to go is Craigslist.
Okay, cool. And so when the person calls you up, do you go to them or do they come to you? How does that work?
It depends. Typically I'll have them, we'll meet in like a mutual location. I'm not going to don't go. I always tell people, oh, well, what about, and it's funny you kind of related this back to phone flipping, because I've heard a lot of people with the phone flipping business. They're like, oh, I've had bad interactions or, I've been robbed or something like that. And I've never even heard of that, because I think the difference between this and that is like people know that guys that are buying electronics have money. It kind of just electronics. It just kind of sounds like a hot topic. With this, I've never had any bad experiences, but still I'll tell them, hey, meet me at the local McDonald's, meet me at the local Starbucks. I'm going to inspect the product, look for the different things I need to make sure that the product is, good and not like this. And then you go from there.
And so then you just pay them cash on the spot when you meet up with them. Let's say you're giving them, $20 a box and you're buying 5 boxes. You just cash them out and give them cash on the spot. Do you give them a receipt or anything like that for tax purposes or what?
Typically, I track what I spend, but it is a lot of cash. So, obviously, when it comes to taxes, you just kind of have to record everything that you spend. There's really no way for anybody to say, well, how did you know how do we know? I never heard of anybody being like having tax issues with it. But yeah, you should record everything you spend, because there's a lot of cash. The only real trail of it is when you're invoicing through PayPal or getting like a wire transfer. Because if you can do PayPal, the only thing about getting paid on PayPal is you get paid up front. With wire transfer, if you do Zelle, you have to send the product off and then they'll send it to you.
Okay, cool. Guys, we're live with Felix, so if you have questions, drop it in the chat. I want to get to a question in the chat from Lone Star Picker. He said, Felix, how do you see yourself expanding this business, and where do you want to be at in 5 years from now?
How I want to expand this business, because to be honest, I've only really done my local area, New Jersey, New York, and I've still done very well for myself. What I want to start doing, and there are some big name companies that do it, where they buy all over nationwide. I actually knew of a company through another buddy that I'm friends with, where he had, because the reason this game is crazy is because, like, for example, my dad, he gets 10 extra boxes every single month. So you get the recurring, the customers come back month after month after month. Every single month on the 1st, he gets 15 of these boxes. He only uses 5. So I knew of a company from a buddy of mine who had like 14,000 recurring customers every single, whether they sold to them every month or every 2 months or every 3 months, you know, it could vary. But that's how I kind of want to scale this up, because, I mean, diabetes, do they have the cure? I'm sure they do. But, you know, the pharmacy industry and the, you know, medical industry in this country is, you know, probably $1 trillion business. So that's kind of how I want to scale it up, is start buying product from all parts of the country.
Okay, Felix. So you got to, I don't want to put you on the spot here, bro, but you got to break it down and explain to everybody, because I watched one of your, because I'm a subscriber to Felix's channel. So tell everybody how is your, because you're a 26-year-old kid, because I say kid because I'm like 36, bro. I don't mean no offense, but I'm just saying, so you're a 36-year-old young guy. You don't have a wife. You don't have any kids. You don't have any, you know, you don't have any other responsibilities. And every month I watched one of your videos and you talked about how you were making about $40,000 a month of income coming in. So do you mind talking a little bit about your multiple different streams of income that you have, and kind of break down and explain to people one at a time what this stream of income does, how you receive the income, and go from there?
Yeah, so I have a few of them. Number one would be the 2 highest that I make the most of the money from, or I'll do 3. Number one is I've actually taken these medical commodities and flipping them every single month, buying them from people who have extras and reselling them. Kind of caught me a bit off guard, so I don't have exact numbers of how much I did this month. But
it's okay. You don't have to give us exact numbers. I'm just curious, because if someone is, there's a lot of people that they just work their 9-to-5 job, or they have one stream of income and then that's it. And then that one stream of income gets cut off, and now you're hungry. So go ahead.
So I have obviously flipping the medical commodities. I also have a training program called Flipping Medical Commodities University, sort of like a consulting style business, where I show you step by step of what to do. The reason I made the training, and some people might bash me for this, oh, you're making the business saturated. The reason I made the training was the business changed my life at 21. At 21 is when I first made my first 6 figures. So I said, wait, I was told to go to school, and now I just made 6 figures at 21. I need to share this business with others. So sharing it actually feels like I'm, you know, giving back and helping others. But also, you know, I do make some good money consulting. I also have YouTube. So YouTube, like we were just discussing with my AdSense, last month was over $2,000, and that's just off views. Like, people watch my videos, ads play, and they see views. So I'm thinking about coming out with some YouTube videos about YouTube, about how you can earn an income, because even like we were talking before we started the live, if you set this up right, you can make some serious money. Like, there's people making $50,000, $100,000 a month from YouTube. So YouTube is another one. It's about, this month I'm on track to probably do 1,500, a little bit less because my views are a little bit down. Affiliate marketing, I do actually promote another business opportunity, and that probably pays me maybe $5,000 a month. I have a trucking business, and with COVID, some of the routes are a little bit up and down, so that's probably another $3,000 to $4,000 a month. And then I have a bunch of properties, but and this is one of the things that I stress on my channel. Everything I try to do is authentic. I put my phone number on my YouTube channel for networking purposes. I have a bunch of properties, but most of them are vacant. I mean, I have 3 lots, 3 single families, and 4 single families, and a 2-family. Those are all vacant. I bought them real cheap, and I'm kind of just sitting on them. I have a 2-family right now that kind of just pays me like $550,000 a month in passive income. But so I'm trying to think. And then real estate, YouTube, medical commodities, trucking, affiliate marketing.
Okay, hey, hold on, hit the pause button for a second. So what got you started into making YouTube videos? How did that go? Explain to people, because I'm a subscriber of his channel. He's seen me comment on his channel, and he was surprised. He was like, "Wait a minute, you make videos?" He was like, "You're making content?" He was like, "A lot of people just talk about it, but they don't actually do it." I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I have a channel. I started this year." So tell people how you first got started into making YouTube videos, and how has your journey been? Because you have like 10,000 subscribers now or something plus on your channel, right?
Yeah, somewhere just around 12,000.
Okay, go ahead.
What got me started? I started at one point just making like men's lifestyle challenges, kind of like talking about motivation and different things like that. And then I think somewhere people on the internet, they probably have noticed from, making videos yourself, people, especially who watch them, and I give them credit, they're like detectives. They'll say like, in this video on that day, wearing this shirt, you said this. So I must have said something in one of my videos about that, what I was doing, the medical commodities. I had a channel since 2016. I didn't say anything about the flipping the test strips, the medical commodities until 2018. And then people were like, can you make a video, another video, and kind of just spiraled out of control from there. But I always wanted a YouTube channel. I can remember from years ago where I would just, upload a few videos, delete them, upload a few videos, delete them. And I just started uploading. And if you go back to my beginning videos compared to now, it's terrible. I have this, lighting now. So it's kind of just a gradual process. And then the opportunity that comes with it is insane. Like I'm actually going out to LA, Phoenix, and Miami. Yeah, I'm leaving in 2 days. I'm going to be going to each city for like 6 days. So traveling for like almost 2-3 weeks, which is pretty crazy. Just from the opportunity that YouTube has given me.
Yeah. Do you get any emails from people wanting you to promote stuff on your channel? I got an email today. They wanted me to promote one of their mobile games. I'm like, nope, not doing it. Sorry, bro. So, no, not really. So, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm actually going to be starting a new channel next year after the first of the year. Not having nothing to do with entrepreneurship or reselling, just like a side hobby. I'm thinking about starting a channel about video games. I see dudes over there getting a ton of subscribers. They just make video game content. So I'm thinking about starting a second channel next year. So you've been doing this for a while, and you said you've been doing about $2,000 a month just for making YouTube videos, right? And then you said you had an affiliates as well, right?
Yeah, I just started actually. Like in March, I did like $100. Then I have this video that just started going viral. Like every single month for the past 2 months, it's been getting like 15, 20,000 views. So my highest month was August, where I made last month was my highest month where I made like 2,200. But yeah, I just started. Like this time last year, I think I made $60 in a month with AdSense. So it kind of just really started taking off.
Yeah. It's basically you're saying YouTube is a long game. It takes a while, right?
That's 500-600 videos later.
Right. Well, that's fine, bro. So you've been doing that. So we talked about your YouTube channel. We talked a little bit about your affiliates. We talked about your medical commodity business. Tell me about your trucking business that you've been doing. Tell me, how does that work? Go ahead.
So I actually bought a truck off an auction. My business partner, who you don't ever see in my videos, he doesn't have any social media. He's kind of off the radar. He already knew how the trucking business worked. So he was looking, I think we were looking for excess amount of laptops that we could kind of buy and resell sometime last summer. And he found a 26-foot box truck. It was basically maintained and used by the Postal Service, 2005, 400,000 miles. But a truck like that can run up to 1 million, 1.5 million miles, and typically retails between 20 and 30,000. And we bought it off an auction for $1,792.
Wait a second. So are we talking about a box truck or a semi truck?
No, a box truck.
Go ahead.
So I bought that for basically just under $1,800, and I got connected with a lady from another person who I know who has a box truck, and she kind of hooks me up with like different routes. It's almost like a dispatcher. And I have a kind of a local route in my area that do like 2-3 days a week where I deliver cleaning products. That's kind of what I do. So I have a driver, and it's an extra little stream of income. I didn't really know anything about the trucking business. My business partner did it. So I kind of just, put up some of the money, and he kind of set it up, and, it's just another way to collect passive income. Thinking about that, I actually just invested into a barbershop as well. So I knew another guy who said he was opening up another barbershop and he needed some money. So we're going to rent out the different chairs because the barbershop has like 7-8 different individual chairs. So I try to just put my money into a bunch of different things. I have a kind of like a team behind me. People on YouTube are like, he's lying because they like say, how does he do it all? But I'm like the only one on the camera. I have a lot of people behind me who, are kind of helping me push the whole vision and mission of what I do. Because, we all put our money together, we all work together, and I'm just kind of the face on the camera. Because I like doing it. They don't like social media at all. I like doing it and sharing what I'm doing and kind of.
All right, Felix. I'm going to catch a question in the chat. First of all, Girl Hustle, thanks for being here. Philly Picker Joe, Prison to Profit is here, Bearded Veteran, and Lone Star Picker. Thank you guys for hanging out. But I want to get a question from BK from the Rockies. It says, question for Felix. How do you manage your time doing so much throughout 1 week? When do you get your sleep? He's like, go ahead.
My sleep schedule, in all honesty, is crazy. Today I woke up it's crazy because it's already dark out already, but I guess because it's the season's changing. But to be honest, my sleep schedule is kind of crazy. I actually just hired like a guy to help me for, as far as like my program, my training program I hired somebody for that. So I'm kind of starting to like learn how to outsource, because you can't do everything by yourself. And then you'll get burnt out. So my sleep schedule, in all honesty, is crazy. I found myself taking naps from time to time, and I don't really have a set schedule where I could tell you I don't wake up at 5 a.m. I know they tell you successful entrepreneurs wake up at 5 a.m. I do not wake up at 5 a.m. I typically don't wake up, on a normal day. I probably wake up around like 9:30. So,
all right, so Felix, so hang on a second. So what is your goals? Because you're a 26-year-old guy. What's your goals by the time you reach 30, or by the time you're my age, you're 35, 36 years old? Like, what do you want to do?
My next goal right now is to be able to buy my parents a new house, and just, have financial freedom and generational wealth where, I can kind of be, kind of set my family up, because it's crazy how, some people just accept, okay, I'm going to be making $40,000 a year. I guess that's as best as it could get. When there's, we both know there's more out there. You can make $40,000 a month. I'm sure there's people out there making $40,000 a day. So I want to kind of just be like, as far as when I'm 30, I really don't know exactly, but I mean, my goal is to have maybe about 50 properties by then, and really start traveling. So that's why I'm excited to go out to the West Coast and stuff, because I want to start traveling and seeing the world. I've just lived in one state. I've never been out the country. So I kind of just want to do and have experiences, different things in life.
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, I'm with you. So you want to start traveling. You want to buy in more investment properties. So that sounds awesome. So talk to me a little bit about. So we're gonna go back. You had you had 5 different streams of income we were talking about today. Your YouTube channel, we talked about that. You have 2 YouTube channels now, right?
Yeah.
And before we started, you said you're going to be featured on Reyes the Entrepreneur's channel soon as well, right?
Yeah, he's texting me right now. It's funny.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Tell him I said hi. I'm actually meeting up with Reyes next month, so I haven't told you guys yet, but we're gonna be doing some collab with Reyes the Entrepreneur next month. So, hey, Felix, bro, we're live. Snap out of it, bro. Hey, so tell me, everybody. So you got your YouTube channel, you got your affiliate channel, and then you've been working on your medical commodity business, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, give someone some advice. If someone wants to get started in the medical commodity business, how do they go? Because that's what kind of launched you to these other projects. So how does someone go about getting started in the business? I know you're going to say buy your course, but I want to say, what do they actually need to do to get started if they're brand new and they don't have any experience?
Just put out some marketing, really. Get some leads, prove that you can get some leads. Once you get some leads, I can point you in the right direction, and, not even push you to my course. Get some leads, get some people calling you saying they got diabetic testing supplies, and I could show you that it works. And, just put out advertisements saying that you buy testing strips. And if, like I said, it's only for people that want to take it to the next level that I offer the training. But I mean, put out leads, put out advertisements that people are going to, saying that you're buying diabetic testing supplies, and let the leads roll in. I just put out flyers, put out bandit signs, put out Craigslist, put on stuff on Facebook. And when people hit you up, you go from there. So, put out the ads, and let the leads roll in. You don't have to set up no website. You don't have to do anything crazy like that.
No, there's more to it. Okay, so you put out the ads. What else do you need to do? Give us two more tips.
You put out the ads, and you can find out go on eBay and see what they have, because you don't have a direct buyer. Go on eBay and see what they have, and look at the sold listings. So I'm sure you do this with what you resell on eBay. If they have a box of One Touch, for example, One Touch, see what this is selling for on eBay. Probably I sell it for around 70, but you probably could sell it on eBay for around 50 to 60 and see what it sells for and then buy it like that. So, you know, you could use eBay, put out advertisements, let the leads roll in, see what they have, and you kind of make your own price sheet of what stuff sells for on eBay. Buy it at, I mean, just to be fair, if stuff is, just try and double your money, and you can just move everything through eBay. So with somebody who has no money and wants to start and kind of wants to take a slow approach to it, put out advertisements, let the leads come in. Once you kind of see what they have, go on eBay, see what it sells for, and make an offer from there.
Okay, and so you want to put out advertising, and then once you start making sales, you want to reinvest your money back in your business, right?
Yeah, more advertising. I actually just bought a bunch of billboards in New York, like at bus stops, which was, you know, a pretty worthy. It was a big investment for it. It didn't really kick back as much as I thought it would. I thought, you know, being in New York City, you know, a lot of foot traffic. I guess maybe because of the whole thing that's going on, the pandemic and stuff. There wasn't that many people actually at the bus or going to the bus. But yeah, I would say just the person who advertises the most in this business is the person who wins.
Okay, and so you're marketing, you're reinvesting in your business, and then the next thing is kind of like you want to make networking, right? Because you got wholesale buyers that buy your merchandise over and over and over again, right? So you have one group of people who are sellers selling you the commodities every month, and then you have a group of wholesale buyers that buy it every month. You're basically just the middleman in between, right?
Yeah, you're getting all your product from people who have extras, diabetics who have extras. And maybe some of the buyers you run into on eBay might be the wholesale buyers that I'm referring to. I don't know. I don't use eBay personally. But yeah, that's basically what you want to do. You're buying from people who have extras and you're reselling to wholesalers. And then you're probably wondering, what do they do with them? They have special licenses to be able to put them back into pharmacies.
Okay. So do you have any more tips or tricks or anything else you want to talk about? Because go ahead.
I mean, that's really all it is. It's in all honesty, it's a pretty simple concept business. It's not, I wish I could say that, you know, it was, you know, go build a website, go put out Facebook ads. You really don't have to do that. It's like, if you have no skills at all, this is the perfect business for you. If you have no, you know, crafty marketing skills, this is the perfect business for you.
Okay, cool. All right, Felix, hey, give me your closing thoughts on everything we talked about today. Go ahead.
Well, first off, I appreciate you bringing me onto your channel. And what I would say to anybody out there trying to figure out what they want to do, pick one avenue, sell yourself on one avenue and run with it. Don't try it for 30 days and jump to this. Like I showed a guy how to do this almost 2 years ago, and I think he's actually in Tampa, but now he's been traveling all over the place and stuff. And he was for like 3-4 months. He was doing the medical commodities. He was doing like some Airbnb business. And he wasn't really making any money. And now he does very well for himself. He does more than me, actually. He does like 12 to 15K a week in profit. But it took him a few months to actually get it up and running. He still wasn't at that 12 to 15. Like now he's really killing. He's been doing it for 2 years, has a bunch of systems and VAs in place and stuff. But what I'm saying is pick one thing and run with it. Whether it's this, whether it's selling stuff on eBay, whether it's phone flipping, whether it's wholesaling, whatever it is, pick one avenue and follow. Like I remember this guy told me, focus stands for follow one course until successful. So somebody will start this, doesn't work, start this, that doesn't work, start this, that doesn't, and they start spinning their wheels so much until they look up and 3-4 years pass and they're like, I still don't have anything established. So pick one thing, dedicate all your energy into it, opposed to picking this, putting 20%, picking this, putting 20%, picking this 20%. Put all that energy into one thing, even if it takes you 6 months, and put it really together. Make sure it really happens.
Right, I'm with you on that. I got a quick question from the chat. BK from the Rockies, he says another question. Do his repeat customers get better income than new customers?
Yeah, that's the whole name of the game. Is I would say 90% of people who sell you test strips or, you know, diabetic supplies are going to be repeat customers. I have a lady who comes, she probably comes every 2 to 3 months, but every time I meet her, she comes with, I spend at least $2,000 to $3,000 with her. Her and her husband are diabetics. And every time I meet her, I'm buying 50, 100 boxes. Whether maybe she's a reseller or she just doesn't know where to get them. I all honestly don't know, but you know, from what I've been buying from her since the end of 2016. and you know, over and over and over. Sometimes I won't hear from her for 4 months, but when she calls me, she has a bunch of product.
Okay, so basically you're basically a reseller, but instead of reselling on eBay, you resell to wholesalers, and you're buying low and you're selling at a higher price, and you're basically the middleman, and you take a cut out the middle, right?
Yeah, it's basically like wholesaling. It's basically like phone flipping, but you know, it's quicker turnaround time. It's repeat customers, and it's, you know, high profit margin. So yeah, basically just a middleman connecting the seller with the buyer. The sellers have no idea where to sell them to, and where we do. So that's, yeah, basically just a middleman.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. So that's about it. That's all. We've been on a live stream for about 45 minutes. I'm going to link his channel down below if you want to go check him out. I'm not an expert in every area of entrepreneurship, but I'll bring you guys some of the best guests that I can find. So if you have questions, you can send him a message on Instagram. Where do they find you on Instagram and YouTube? Tell them.
You can find me on YouTube at Giant Lifestyle, exactly how it sounds, Giant Lifestyle, and then Instagram is I Am Giant Lifestyle.
Okay, cool. And he's there. He answers messages. He has his phone number listed if you want to reach out to him and ask him questions. And he also has a course to help you if you need help. So, like I said, I'm just go ahead.
Right. If you're looking for more information about the medical commodity business, I just started another channel. Just type in flipping medical commodities, and you should see an entire channel. I have like 60 videos breaking down all the little nitty gritty of the business. So that's my second channel. My main channel is Giant Lifestyle, talking about everything that I do.
Okay, cool. Hey, BK, he says, excellent. He says, great discussion. Hey, thanks everybody in the chat for coming by. I want to thank Felix for hanging out with me. I'm going to link his channel down below. And if you guys want to learn more about it, because this guy, he makes 6 figures a year flipping medical commodities. So if you have any questions, he can probably do it blindfolded. He can help you out, get you started. Anyways, guys, I want to thank my guests for coming on today. Thank you guys in the chat for hanging out. I'll see you guys later. Oh, yeah, tomorrow we have this guy on from Alabama. He's been on Felix's channel, all about flipping pallets. He's going to be on tomorrow at 6. So see you guys then. Bye.
See you guys.